beautiful soul. Have you ever noticed how one week you feel radiant and magnetic, ready to conquer the world, and the next week all you want to do is stay in bed, want a blanket, a journal, and to be left alone? You're not inconsistent, you are cyclical. And when you understand you're in a rhythm, emotionally, hormonally, energetically, you stop judging yourself and start aligning with your feminine power. As simply as that. Today I'll walk you through what I call the inner seasons of being a woman. You'll learn how your energy, focus, and also emotional needs shift throughout the month and how to work with these changes instead of working against them. We need to understand that during a month, we as women have the 4 inner seasons. So think of the monthly cycle as a mirror of nature's 4 seasons. These apply whether you are menstruating, if you are perimenopausal, menopausal, or just deeply connected to your feminine energy. So during the menstrual cycle is the winter. It's time to rest, reflection, letting go. The emotions that we feel are tender, intuitive, inward. And this type of the monthly cycle is best for journaling, resting, spiritual insight. Then after that it comes the follicular phase, in which energy begins to rise. Our emotions are in connection with being hopeful, open, playful. So this week, this period is best for setting goals, testing new things, brainstorming. And then it comes the ovulation phase, or we can call it our inner summer. This is the peak energy and magnetism we as women feel, emanate. So our emotions will be confident, radiant, expressive. This period is best for speaking, connection, visibility, collaboration. After this period, it comes the luteal phase. We can call it our inner autumn. So during this period, the energy begins to decline. So our emotions will mirror that. We will be focused, we will be critical, we will detail oriented. So during this period, we can use this type of energy, the resonance of it, best for editing, completing tasks, saying no. When we learn to recognize these inner seasons, we begin to live in harmony with ourselves instead of constantly pushing or judging. We need to understand that there are also 4 menstrual archetypes. So alongside the seasons, there are 4 predominant hormonal archetypes many women cycle through. So knowing your hormonal pattern can deepen your self-understanding. During the menstrual phase, we can call that archetype the wise woman, governed by low estrogen and progesterone. This is a time of deep intuition, spiritual insight. The energy is low, but the inner wisdom is high. We are in connection with the subtle dimensions very easily. So we feel that energy and we have the connection to the subtle dimensions very easily, and this comes with insight and wisdom. During the follicular phase, we can call that archetype the maiden. The estrogen is rising. It brings vitality, hope, and curiosity. So therefore, you will feel mentally sharp and physically energized. During the ovulation phase, we have the mother archetype. Estrogen peaks, testosterone rises, confidence, social energy are high, and therefore you will feel generous, magnetic, and deeply connected. And then the 4th archetype during the luteal phase is the enchantress. The progesterone rises, your energy begins to turn inward. This phase demands truth, emotional honesty. It's a time for refinement, boundaries. Understanding these archetypes can help you actually give yourself permission to be who you are right now without guilt, without resistance. Also, in connection with the menstrual cycles, the inner lunar cycle, there are also, we can also speak about 4 hormonal types of women. So while we all pass through the 4 phases of the menstrual cycle, you will notice that you will experience some recurring patterns that reveal actually how hormones influence both our emotions and physical symptoms. So let's talk about the 4 common menstrual types and the 4 hormonal unbalances that are often behind them. If during the premenstrual phase, the PMS, you feel angry, you feel irritated, you feel impatient, you feel explosive before or during your period, then you are the hormonal archetype or typology called the angry woman. You may be dealing with estrogen dominance and low progesterone. So your emotional reaction will always be, most of the times, anger, agitation, frustration. What helps if you are this typology is more magnesium, reducing stress by all means, reducing the intake of caffeine, for example, and supporting liver detox. For example, leafy greens, herbal teas. Then there is another hormonal typology, another menstrual typology is called the sad woman. So if during PMS you feel tearful, hopeless, emotionally heavy, simply sad, a little bit down, you may be facing serotonin drops combined with hormonal shifts, high progesterone basically. So the emotion reaction, if you are this typology, is sadness, even emotional withdrawal. What helps is omega-3s, vitamin B6, daily movement, which is soft, sunshine, emotional mastery done by, for example, talking with your best friend, journaling, meditation, mindfulness. Then there is the 3rd menstrual typology, the craving woman. If your PMS comes with cravings for sweets, binge eating or blood sugar crashes, you might be dealing with insulin resistance triggered by estrogen progesterone imbalance. So the emotional reaction is a little bit of anxiety soothed through craving for sweets. So what helps are stable blood sugar by eating protein and fiber-rich meals, chromium, fresh fruits, honey, conscious emotional eating habits, so avoid eating sweets, especially avoid at all costs white sugar. So this type of processed sweets, which we all know are not at all healthy. And the 4th hormonal typology is the bloated woman. So if your body retains water, your belly swells, or you feel puffy and inflamed, this may reflect estrogen excess and poor lymphatic drainage. So the emotional reaction during this period might be feeling heavy, discomfort in your body. What helps is dandelion tea, dry brushing, movement, hydration, and also reducing processed food and salt, at least during this phase. These 4 expressions, these 4 typologies, they are not who you are, they are signs from your body simply. So with awareness and with gentle lifestyle shifts, you can begin to rebalance. We can also ask ourselves why we feel somehow disconnected from these natural cycles. Many women today feel burnt out, overwhelmed, or simply disconnected from their bodies. And why? Because we've been trained to operate in a linear, masculine way where consistency is king and feelings are inconvenient. But our nature is different. We are lunar, we are not solar. We change, and that is sacred. We have the cycles, and that is sacred. So the problem is not your sensitivity. The problem is the pressure to be the same every single day. We are not. We are very complex and faceted. So let's get practical. Grab a journal or imagine this. You draw a circle, you divide it into 4 parts: winter, spring, summer, autumn. And then during a month of your cycle, reflect on how your moods, your energy and your focus shift across a typical month. You can ask yourself, when do I feel most alive? When do I need more space? When do I feel social versus introspective? This is your cycle power map. It helps you align your schedule, self-care, and also it helps you making choices with your natural rhythm. We need to pay attention to this because it's wisdom in the cycles of our body and our inner energies. So going against them will not benefit us at all. Instead, listening to them, respecting them, and living in accordance with them will make us come in touch with our feminine nature much more, and it will also help us live more harmoniously. Less fighting, more flowing, we can say like that. So if you're not longer cycling, you have anyhow your inner tides. We still have the hormones, there is still the inner tides in connection with the lunar cycles. So let the moon guide you, track your energy over a lunar month. So here come some practical tips to own your power in connection with this lunar cycle. The first step we all need to do is start tracking our cycle or energy levels daily. You can use an app or simply a journal, a piece of paper and a pen. Awareness is the first step. The next step is to plan your month according to your energy. Now that you know these inner 4 seasons, you can schedule, for example, big events during your inner summer, not during your inner winter, because then you'll have the lowest level of energy. It's not wise to do that. The third step is give yourself full permission to rest, especially during the winter phase. This isn't weakness, it's simply wisdom. You align with your cycles of inner energy. The fourth step is equally important: communicating your needs clearly. Let loved ones know what phase you are into so they can support you, or at least they know, they are aware that now you are in your inner winter phase. You need to rest. You cannot be so much outgoing and cleaning the entire house, doing all kinds of activities, because you don't have the level of energy necessary for that. And also an important step is celebrate your changing nature. Celebrate these waves, these inner cycles, your softness, your fierceness, your stillness. They are all part of your brilliance. So your cycle is not a curse, it's actually a compass. It really shows us in which phase, depending on which phase we are into, what is the most appropriate type of activity we can do. So when you begin to live in rhythm with your inner seasons and hormonal archetypes, something magical happens. You stop fighting yourself. You begin to thrive. You begin to be aligned. So I invite you warmly to observe your own inner shifts with love, with curiosity. You can use the cycle power map. So allow your body to speak to you.